Can you tell me how Novi got its name?
Which story do you want?
All of them.
Oh, all of them. Okay. Oh boy. Okay.
Do we what?
Do
Know how Novi got its name?
Oh, yes. Which version do you want?
all the versions?
All 16 of them?
Yeah.
Yeah. None of them are true.
You know, nobody knows for sure.
Oh, well, that's Botsford Inn was supposed to be the number 5 stage stop. Am I telling it right?
Number 6.
And then this became NOVI 6
On the stagecoach? Or
on
the
a
train?
stagecoach stop.
Stagecoach, not train.
No, not a train. Well,
So
no,
stagecoach.
Stagecoach.
From what I understand, from Novi to Grand Rapids or from Novi to Lansing, there was certain stagecoach stop or something like that. And I guess Novi was number 6. It's hard to believe, isn't it?
I believe it might have been a stagecoach stop, to tell you the truth. Maybe the numbering didn't seem to make sense. People that have researched it thought we were the 5th stop. We really weren't the 6th, but who knows?
You know, that's a controversy, and there's legends. All the legends are beautiful. It was a train depot, it was a stagecoach stop, it was a toll road stop. They all sound good, but it's not true. You know, it was called Novi before all these things happened.
We had our name before trains even came through here. Then it was the number 6 stagecoach stop, which it probably was. I think both of those are true, but that's not where the city got its name.
Oh, I'm not going to tell you the story everybody else has told you. I know everybody's told you it was the number 6 railroad stop, and I think that that's probably the truth. But my friend Kathy Crawford and I have come up with what we think is the truth. On the corner of Novi Road and Grand River, there was an old bar that sat on the corner.
I used to say, you know, there was a barmaid at the Novi Inn, and she was really not very good looking, and she always tried to get people to go upstairs.
Saying, come on, go upstairs, take you upstairs with me. And her name was Vi, and they'd go, no, Vi, no. So if you want to believe those other people that it's number 6 station, you can.
Well, there's a lot of stories as to how Novi got its name. I think you've all heard them. Novi was Tollgate 6, but that isn't where the name came from.
Back in the days, Novi was called West Farmington.
That's a long name to write, isn't it? West Farmington?
Most of the farmers and the people that lived here were illiterate, so they needed something short that people could learn to write. And so it was a suggestion by a doctor's wife who happened to be at the meeting.
Dr. J.C. Emery, who, at the suggestion of his wife, proposed the name Novi, and in the fall of 1832, Novi became Novi.
It's kind of presumed that she was better educated, maybe, than some of the people. Her and her husband came from New York, and that probably they had traveled some. And there's a number of cities in Europe that are called Novi, like especially Slavic countries, you know. There's a lot of Novis out there. So I don't know if maybe if she heard that, you know, and in Latin, you know, I mean, we tried all kinds of ways to think of, well, what would it mean if it's Latin, you know, what does that mean?
In Latin, it means new, and so this would be a new community separate from Farmington, separate from Northville. And so they shortened it and just made it new, Novi. That's my understanding.
I don't know if we'll ever really know for sure, but that makes the most sense, and it actually was in township minutes, or it was written in one of the old historical books, that somebody recommended that name basically because we were illiterate and we couldn't learn to write anything longer.
The only thing about that is, and I'll tell people all over the world, it's number 6 on the trail because that's the greatest story. It isn't true, but it's the best story. Telling them all this other stuff about, just pick a simple name and all the rest of it, that's fine. That may be the correct one, but it has no character. So.
You know what, if people tell me that they know how Novi got its name, that it was the stagecoach stop or a train stop, whatever they say, I always tell them, yeah, I think you're right.
Everybody says, well, it's the number 6 train stop, so I just go with it. I go, yeah, you know, you're right. It's a fun story.
I think the stagecoach stop of 5 at Botsford and the
6, you think that's right?
I think that's as close as you're going to get.
He would know. He was around at that time.
Yeah.
What story do you believe? Was there a 6th stop? Did a barmaid named Vivian really exist? Or are we just named after a European city? Drop a comment below and let us know how you think Novi got its name. You can help us uncover the truth by visiting the history page at cityofnovi.org.